losing streak? How good is it to be done with that and kind of get that off your back?
It was, I mean, anytime you win, it's awesome. But I thought our crowd was fantastic today. It was, you know, they probably deserved it as much as anybody. You know, they were into it the entire game, and it was an awesome feeling. So there was a lot of energy in that stadium, and we needed every ounce of it. So it was awesome.
How nerve-wracking was that final drive for the Redskins to be on the sidelines?
I mean, I think there's a little bit of sense of calm. I think Billy does a great job with his coaches. You know, it's just what's the down and distance, what do we got to do, what's the next call, and let's continue to play. And, you know, as long as they don't score, and that's the ultimate goal right there. And, you know, you can't be reactionary and say, oh, what happened here, what happened here. It's just, we talk about it all the time, just play the next snap, play the next snap. You know, we got great pressure on him on the last play, and forced him to throw it up, and Blake made a play, and, you know, we'll take it.
In the first half, you got a lot of yards after catch. How important is that for an offense, when you get those extra yards?
It just depends on how they're playing, and they played us off a little bit, and we're going to let us throw the ball underneath. But then, if they're going to do that, we need to convert in those situations. And I thought, you know, that was a big part of what we were doing in the first half. And it's, you know, they gave us some room to kind of get running, and if we get running, then we got to run for the first down instead of throw for the first down. So it was big. You know, that Cooper had to run, Deshaun running around. Birdsey had a nice run in there, so it was a big part of it. We had a couple screens. Obviously, the one that Brett was outstanding. You know, watching him stick his foot in the ground and then get north and south was awesome. So you know, I think they all contributed, but I think the run after the catch is big if they're going to play off you.
What happened in the offense in the second half? It didn't seem to have the same.
Yeah, we had that first drive, and I thought we did outstanding. That was a 13-play deal for a touchdown, and then you know, just really couldn't get it going after that. They did a nice job, you know, forcing us into a couple of things. Couldn't convert on a fourth down, but I'll give them credit. I think they made some plays. They got off the block. Sometimes we had some looks and some one-on-one looks where, you know, it looked like we were going to gain more than we did. But it's a tough game, and you know, fortunately we got out of here with a victory. But I thought they did a good job from, you know, about the middle of the third quarter on defending us.
Chip, how encouraging is it to see the production out of guys like Najee Good and Benny Logan and some of the young guys in your front seven?
Yeah, I think it's big. You know, obviously when you only have 46 guys up on game day, and how physical a game this is that your depth is going to get tested. And, you know, when guys like Najee and Brock and all the guys that stepped up and played, you know, because we had some starters down, it's comforting, I think, as a coach to know you got some guys that you can plug in when, you know, with Mike Kendricks is an outstanding football player. With Mike being out, you know, to have Najee and have the production he have, to see what Benny and those guys are doing up front, I think it's encouraging. And I know we're going to get tested a little bit more. We got, you know, play 11 straight weeks like we did. You know, now the bye's coming up, but you know, we got to head into December and see what happens.
What have you learned about your team through these first 11 games?
What's that?
What have you learned about your team through these? You're going into your bye week now. What have you learned?
I've learned that they compete. I learned that they stick together as a group. I learned that they really care about each other. I think they hold each other accountable. They show up to practice every single day, wanting to get better. Makes our job as coaches that much easier. It's a great group to be around. Really, really excited about going to work every day when you get a chance to work with guys like that.
Was there a time you were worried about that at all? Last time you were here, it was about as low as it could get. You had 2 games in a row, you hadn't scored an offensive touchdown.
No, I wasn't worried, but I knew that was going to be a big test for us, and we knew what we had to do. We had to stick together as a group. And, you know, the only people that really had confidence in us was us, and rightly so, because we weren't playing very well. But I think together as a group, we've gotten better, and we're growing. You know, we're new to them, they're new to us. You know, as we continue to learn what they can do and put them in positions to make plays, and then just get out of the way and watch them go play. You know, I think it's interesting to watch these guys on a weekly basis continue to get better and better. So it's encouraging as we head into the bye week.
Five games. Did you think you were going to run Foles as much as you ended up running?
I knew what they were trying to take away, and obviously Nick's a good decision maker, and obviously, you know, if he can get what he can and then get down, I'll take a big hit. Then obviously, then that's what we'll do. And he needed to do that to help us out in those situations. So.
5 games left in the season. McCoy's already over 1,000 yards rushing. I think Deshaun's just too short in terms of receiving yards. How important is it to have, you know, that both through the air, on the ground from those?
Yeah, I guess I don't look at it as individuals. I look at it as a team. What are we doing as a team running? What are we doing as a team throwing? You know, we ran the ball well some weeks and threw the ball well some weeks. I think you're going to get tested. You got to be able to do both. You know, I think Nick was close to 300 today. You know, we're getting a lot of production, but the biggest thing I think we're doing offensively is we're not turning the ball over. We're not putting ourselves in bad situations, and we're continuing to to win that turnover battle. And when you plus in a turnover battle, if our defense can continue to create them like they are, we continue to be smart and not spit the ball out on our side, whether it be from a fumble or interception, then you got a shot. So.
What was clicking in those first 3 quarters?
I thought mostly during the whole day. I think I would argue that it was clicking most of the time. We didn't convert on that 4th and 1, and give Griff credit. He scrambles around, and all of a sudden we lost the back, and he gets him down the sideline for the big one, right? It was bang bang. But I think we did a really good job in coverage for the most part during the day. At the end, it's you're off a little bit because you don't want to give one up over the top. But I think we generated pressure. Extremely hard guy to get pressure on because he's just so nifty in the pocket that maybe if it was some of the other guys we played, we would have had more sacks. But I think we really generated some pressure against them and forced them, to maybe not set his feet as he wanted to throw the ball. And then they got an outstanding rushing attack. But I think by and large we did a good job of defending the run.
Chip, to be over 500 again, and then also to win at home for the first time in a long time, is one of those more significant to you than the other?
No, I mean, I don't look at it globally. I look at it this week. To win this week was huge. So whatever the outcome that gives us, being over 500 and winning at home and all those other things it's about winning on a weekly basis. And I think our fans deserved it the way they kind of hung in there with us. And it was awesome to get this one at home. And I think that part was kind of a little bit more special than the fact that puts us up 1 over 500.
On the second
Did
quarter,
it surprise you that LaShawn was able to come back in the second half? I mean, did it seem pretty bad when he got hurt at first?
No, again, I think you guys can ask me a million questions. I never asked. They just say if he's up, he's down. When I came in at halftime, they said he was good. So,
What is
the
the player?
second 2-point conversion, D'Amico had a burn timeout. Did you guys have enough guys in the field?
No, we didn't. So that's why I called it timeout. And we could communicate with him. So we were trying to get that communicated.
Connor Barwood had a big sack there in the first half. What just has he given you guys on a week-to-week basis this year?
I think he's a very underrated football player. He's extremely intelligent. He does a great job. He's obviously played in a 3-4 scheme before. He's got a really good understanding. I think he's helped everybody in this transition. I know Billy really leans on him a lot. Between Connor outside and D'Amico inside, I think he got 2 outstanding leaders. Comes to work every day. One of the hardest guys out on the practice field in terms of training and his approach to it. Been a really big addition to us. I'm really excited we got him.
There was one drive where Nick Foles kept flexing his arm over and over again. Was something going on there?
He was trying to get the crowd going. Fired up. I don't know. I don't know. When he came out, we asked him if he was okay. No, Billy talked to me. He said he was fine. So he did finish the game. But I noticed the same thing you noticed. But we didn't really get anything else besides that. So.
What is the players' schedule going to be this week?
We're in on Monday, Tuesday, and then they're off. They'll be off Wednesday till next week. So, it's an interesting time to get a bye. 11 games in. So I think they need to kind of get themselves recharged and rejuvenated, and then come back here. And we're back at home again, which is exciting for us. And we'll see what December has for us.
And what was your message to them, Chip, in terms of reconfiguring after the bye, getting this win?
We haven't talked about that because I'll have a meeting with Tuesday before they take off south. So it was just kind of what we talk about all the time is that to be a good football team you can't flinch, and I don't think these guys did. I mean, obviously Redskins are extremely talented and they got some weapons on the offensive side of the ball, and to play as well as we played defensively for the entire game, to watch them finish it off that way was really encouraging. In this game, crap's going to hit the fan. It's just how you react to it. I think our guys did a great job from that standpoint.
Chip, the playmaker that Brandon Wiggins is becoming, obviously 2 big picks last year. Do you think a lot of that is due to that he doesn't play the full amount of snaps like the other guys? Is he a little fresher?
Yeah, run with that. I don't know. I just know he's productive and he's doing a really good job. And I think to have someone like him that can play in that slot for us, I think is really important, because if you watch them, they kept trying to get the guys into the slot, trying to get those matchups, and when you have someone in there that is really a starter for you and is as talented as Brandon, I think it's a big plus, and I think it's probably an underappreciated position, being a slot corner, and how integral that is to being a successful football team.
You talked about Nick Foles' toughness before, what you saw in college. He took a decent amount of hits today. Were you surprised they kept getting up after some of those hits they took?
No, I mean, I told you that. I mean, we knocked the tar out of him when we played him. We knocked the snot out of him when we played him. He literally, I watched tape. I know you study a lot of Oregon tape, so I watched tape when he completed a 13-yard pass against us left-handed. you know, we chinned him, he was going down, switches the ball to his left hand, and then still throws it for a completion, and then gets up and makes another play against us. You know, I've admired him. Love the fact that I get to coach him and don't coach against him, but he is a tough kid.
Donnie Jones hit a monster punt, a big spot. How big was that to getting the win today? It
was huge, you know, to make him go that far and to get us out of that situation that we were in. And that's what I kind of think contributed. We were moving in the first half, got a chance to jump out to a really good lead. I thought our defense played great all game, and then for our special teams to contribute like that. You know, that's what it takes. To win a game in the division, you got to play well in all three phases, and I thought that punt was huge for us.
Coach, last season, this was a game that this team would not have won. I know you weren't here last year, but looking at how the way this defense kind of came back and stopped them, and what it is exactly what Billy stresses into these guys.
Yeah, I think we all stress it into them, you know, and I think they understand it. You know, what really, how are you going to react when things don't go exactly the way you planned? And I think in this league, a lot of times what you plan really doesn't happen. You know what I mean? I think it's part of your mindset. We talk about our mindset all the time, and that's what I think I'm most proud of today is how they reacted when it didn't go our way, when they faced a little bit of adversity. You know, to kind of dig down deep and make a play when we had to make a play. That was a big sign for this team, and hopefully we can overcome that.
Are you seeing week-to-week progress? Is this team where you expected it to be this month?
I don't know where I expected it to be, you know, but I have seen us improve. You know, I've seen our defense steadily improve as the season went along. I saw our offense play well early, and then I saw us really take a huge step back for 2 games, you know, against the Cowboys and the Giants, and then I saw us start to get back on stride a little bit. But it's all for naught if we don't continue to build from here. I think they understand that too. There's still a lot of football to be left. I know that's a cliche, but it's true. You know, we got 5 games in December, but we put ourselves in a situation where those 5 games in December are meaningful. And then we'll do the same exact thing I talk about all the time. I said it to them again a lot. We'll pick our heads up on December 29th and figure out where we are.
Okay. Sean.